back. We are so back. The Grunge Bible Podcast. This is episode 187. My name is Ethan Challoway. We got Chris Salona here on the other side of the table, and it's episode 187. And we like to start every episode with a check-in, a mental health check-in, a self-awareness, however you want to say it. You just sometimes we got to air some grievances, and I think this is a good time to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Chris, how are you, man?
Oh man, not too good. I'm not too good today. It's crazy. Whatsoever I feared has come to light, in the words of Chris Cornell and Fell on Black Days. I mean, sometimes you go on a heater for a while and you feel like nothing is going to tear you down or break your stride, and then next thing you know, things do, and then things are things are just not so good. So yeah, man, I'm feeling a little beat right now, a little downtrodden. I've had a busy week. We're recording this on Wednesday the 16th. I have some travel the next couple of weeks that I'm leaving on the 18th. But on the 14th, a couple days ago, on Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, I hurt my back, and in the words of Warren Zevon, my shit's fucked up. The shit that used to work won't work now. I'm gonna go to the doctor tomorrow, and he'll probably tell me, he'll just let me break it to you, son. Your shit's fucked up. Yeah, man, I'm not feeling too good. Everything hurts in my low back, and being an athlete for as long as we've been, this type of thing is always out there somewhere, and you hope the Grim Reaper never knocks on your door, but I'm a little nervous that it has. I was warming up to snatch. I caught a snatch really weirdly in front of me, and when I went to adjust and get it over my head, the best way I can explain it is I almost felt like my lower back ejected out of my body behind me. I stood up and knew that my life for the immediate future would not be the same as it was before I put my hands on that bar. So I'm not doing too hot, man. Yeah, just when I learned all the rules, they changed them.
Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah,
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying.
Fuck,
yeah, man. It's, it just happens, sometimes, and hopefully the doc gives you some good news tomorrow. Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, sometimes you get hurt. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, and
sometimes you get hurt.
I keep oscillating between, obviously realizing that it's just like an injury and it'll be fine, eventually, and probably sooner than I feel that it will be. But then, on the other hand, I'm like, this is the biggest thing in the world, and I'm going to be really dramatic about it. But I mean, there are greater tragedies in the world, but I'm just violently shifting between it's over and we're back with every passing minute. But
yep,
I'll be all right. I can't imagine there's no fucking way that I herniated a disc or anything, or slipped a disc, and what does that even,
No one knows what that means.
Nobody knows exactly.
People always say they got disc problems. I mean, unless it's a war of attrition type of thing, maybe. Yeah. So you didn't ask, but I'll go ahead and say how I'm doing.
I was just about to, Ethan. Okay. I hope you're doing better than me. How are you?
Well, School of Fish has a song, 3 Strange Days. That's how it's been, and this goes back to one of the original episodes that School of Fish came up. But it's been 3 strange days. We obviously got back from the trip, and then I went on a bachelor party trip back to the old college town to hang out with the boys. And 3 strange days, just a lot of energy output came back, just anxiety of all this stuff, and just a weird predicament. I can always tell how my mood is doing by what music I listen to, obviously. And it comes that time of year where emo punk is that's a pretty good standard that maybe, you're spending too much, you're not doing too well if you're spending a lot of time there.
Yeah.
But I know that I know when I'm screwed, it's when I'm listening to the Dinosaur Juniors, the Four Squirrels, the old 90s, early 90s, emo rock. That's what I know I'm out. That's when I know I'm down and out. when I'm just listening to Jay Mascis talk about sheets in the wind and stuff, which I was doing, and it was great. I was like, wow, these guys are so talented. They make me feel some type of way. Now, anyway, but the days have moved on, and I've gotten a little bit better. I mean, I'm fine. That's life. Life is life, and sometimes it be like that.
Yeah,
and,
I knew that things were going on when I saw you listening to "Standing Outside a Broken Phone Booth with Money in My Hand" by Primitive Radio Gods a couple of days ago. I knew that there were doings, but it's seasons. This is. It's called. There's passages in life, and things happen, and sometimes you're a little lower. Sometimes you don't have the zest that you always do, but it just makes it more special when it comes around again.
Exactly. So. That wraps up our mental health check-in, and that we like to do that. And I also I appreciate this time because it's how many quotes and titles and band lyrics can you throw into how you are doing? And I love that it's kind of turned into that of like how
I love that Jackson Browne made an appearance today.
Yeah. It was out of that or Doctor, give me the news.
A worthy runner up there.
But on the bright side, there is some news in music coming out that we like, and that is with Jerry Cantrell and his album I Want Blood. So we're recording this on Wednesday, and because of some scheduling and some things, the album comes out Thursday at midnight.
Yeah, it comes out on the 18th.
So this episode is Monday. It's already been out, but we are gonna save the review because obviously we're recording this before then. We do have a single, I Want Blood, to potentially talk about, but that album review is coming, so hang in there. We're going to get there, but we want to give it proper listen through because the weekend was not looking good for podcast purposes, and it would have been probably not the best thing for us to just hammer out a review or whatever that's going to look like. So it's coming. It's coming.
It's certainly coming. Yeah. And we'll just level with everybody. It's my fault. I'm traveling. I'm traveling Friday morning. I'm not going to have time to podcast once I travel before Monday. So that'll be coming. But that's the thing. Once it's out, it's not going anywhere.
We're not going to take it down.
Our podcast probably isn't going anywhere. We'll probably be alive next week to do it. So it's on its way, but we just got the single I Want Blood. I just listened to about 40% of it for the first time directly before we recorded this. I listened long enough to hear him shout through a distorted megaphone, perhaps, of him just saying, "I want blood." And honestly, I hope with all this talk about wanting blood, I really hope that he can get it. I hope that this album gives him what he wants.
Yeah. He makes it very clear in this song that he wants blood, and the music video I watched I watched it right before this, right. And it's full of red skeletons and eyes and anatomy, and then it flashes Jerry's face with his sunglasses and long hair, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I got to listen to it a little bit more. Well,
here's the thing.
My initial reaction, I'm not.
I'm not.
I don't know if I want blood anymore, Chris.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a big game, so we're gonna have to be in line.
The first two were good.
Yeah, and I'm not as excited about this one as I was about the previous album, Brighton. But at least with this one, there's no hand wringing or uncertainty about what his intentions and desires are. We'll take it from the single itself. Quote, "Every minute I want blood. Every second I want blood. Will you play me now for blood? Let's go." So I just, sometimes people have to do things for their own agenda, and if he's doing this because he wants blood, I can only hope that he gets it. I'm sure I'll like it, but I'm also just in a shitty mood right now, so I'm not, probably not the best time to listen to I Want Blood for the first time. Yeah,
most times we talk about lyrics and we say, I'm glad that they didn't really explain this one and they let it up to the people. This is not one of those times. I really need to read some stuff and hear exactly what we're talking about here. And and why he wants it so bad.
Well, that was like with the first, it's escaping me. Oh, Vilified, I think, was the first single where there were apparently some veiled references to artificial intelligence.
AI.
So, yeah, this is one of those things where, I'm not good with Kim Thiel just saying that it's about experience in general. I need,
I need
like
more.
Jerry wants blood. Well, I want an explanation.
I want answers.
I need answers.
You want blood. I want answers. Oh my God, this is funny. This is like neither of us are drunk, neither of us are hungover, but I feel a big slap happy episode coming, which
Me
is
too,
really
man.
funny.
And it's like a Wednesday afternoon. Like I just finished work. You just got home from the gym, and I don't know. This is the feel. I gotta blow off some steam, man. It's been a tough last couple of days.
This is good stuff. This is the podcast. Just two guys shitting in the woods,
Absolutely, yeah. So we picked a good day to give the last word before the album is unveiled. We picked a good day to do a Q&A, which is I'm sure by now because you clicked on the episode. But real quick, before we thank the Patreon supporters and before we do this day in music, as we said, we've got an I Want Blood review coming up probably next week. Additionally, in conjunction with Ringing the Bell, we do have another podcast episode topic that will be coming. And I would like to send a big and dandy thank you to Lana. Lana was listening last week, and let's just go right to their words, not even mine, in the way that we listen to Jerry Cantrell talk about how much he wants blood. So Lana said, "Happy to be here on Patreon. I've been meaning to sign up for months, and after you guys threatened not to come back next week, I simply couldn't let that happen." So Ethan, it worked. We know that threats work.
The podcast.
So disappointment didn't. Trying to convey our value didn't really work, but good old fashioned threats worked. So Lana, you did save the podcast. Lana went on to say, "OMG, I would love it if you guys did an episode on Jeff Buckley's album Grace. I've hit you guys up a few times in the past about it, and I reckon you'd love deep diving on it. It's a bit different to the usual content too." So I said, yes, we will do it. Now we're speaking about it now. So thank you, Lana, for joining the Patreon. I believe at the $5 tier. I don't really know the monetary conversion. But whatever tier, I'm happy that you're here. Happy that you have an album suggestion. Last couple of people that have joined the Patreon either haven't had one or haven't answered our inquiry about their suggestion. So thank you for playing along, and thank you for being appropriately threatened by us, because honestly, not knowing it last week, we threatened to cancel the podcast. And with the week that I'm having so far, I would have come pretty damn close to following through.
Yeah, we can threaten again too, because we can say we want blood, or this podcast is over.
Yeah. If we don't get an explanation as to what the hell Jerry Cantrell's talking about in his new album, the podcast is over.
But yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad that you answered the call, and everybody out there that's probably been thinking the same thing. It's been a couple months. You've been meaning to join. You've been meaning to do this. Now is your time. Well, here's your sign.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, all of us have been meaning to do a lot of things for a long time.
Right.
So just quit meaning to do it and do it. It's
feel
really
better when you do it. It's like cleaning your bed.
It's really not that hard. Just like get up
bed.
and do the laundry, man. Like you'll feel better once it's done. Like just like quit it and just release the album, Jerry, so we can all get on with it. Like we'll all feel better once it's out.
What's the smallest inconvenience that you don't do that's really, really like inconsequential, and then you do it and you feel so good about it?
Oh man. Sometimes it's taking out my recycling. It's literally just down the stairs, and like when I leave the house, I could just carry it out, but I always forget to. I hate that. Making my bed I'm good with. I really don't mind laundry or dishes. I would probably say that's a big one for me. Do you have something that comes to mind? Yeah, just like getting it out of my house, because I have like I get the paper bags at the grocery store, so I just fill them with my recyclables, like the empty bottles or what have you, and I just carry the bag down and put it in the recycling bin. But the issue is I'll fill one bag and it would be so easy for me just to carry it down the next time I leave the house. But instead, I just open up another bag next to it.
Yeah, you just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I don't know. It always, I definitely, this is kind of a bigger one, I guess. I procrastinate buying flights a lot, even though like I know that I'm, I have to go to this wedding. So why am I pushing it off? But, I don't know, maybe, just certain things that, like when you get a Venmo request, you're pretty good at getting them right to them right away. Venmo requests.
Yeah, I try to be.
Sometimes
but I can totally see how different things like that. Honestly,
checking my bank statement.
Yeah, responding to texts can be one of those.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
But
like,
I think especially like Grunge Bible DMs are tough.
They can get difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, they can be really challenging.
All right. So do you want to read the names of the top level?
I would love
everybody?
to read the names of the top tier Patreon supporters.
Get some positive energy going.
Yeah, I think we need some. So let's start it with the top tier. They give us $10 a month to make sure that we don't cancel the podcast. And you can be a part of this group and make it a little easier for them and make it a little easier for us. And honestly, man, like I really need it. I'm not feeling too happy this week. So cheer me up and give me some money. Top tier, we've got Kara K, D-Boat, Black Hole Sean, Doug Endy, Down in the Hole, Flat Out Fucked, Apona, Eddie Vedder got me through my second divorce, Fuck Soup, Gochu John, Jamie Lynn, Jade Mercado, Keith White, Carlene Salona, Nikki Six, Millie, King Buzzo Stole My Hair, Pile of Punk, Russell, Seattle 4 Fanboy from New Jersey, What the Fuck is Up Denny's, and Sherry Matthews. So thanks everybody for your support. We appreciate it, and it's not lost on us.
Awesome. Another week of thanking the people. So for this episode, we do have a question and answer segment, but before that, we need to do our, 1 year running segment of This Day in Music for October 21st throughout the years. So let's just jump right into it. In 1942, Judge Judy was born.
Judge Judith Sheindlin.
Is Judge Judy international?
Honestly,
do we think the people in Europe and Brazil know who Judge Judy is?
I feel like they could be tuning in. Yeah, I mean she's been an afternoon television icon for like 30 years, 40 years. So
did you ever watch like how big was Judge Judy this show?
Oh, she was big, dude. She was big. So growing up around here, I think she used to be on at like 4 or 4:30 p.m. So like the only way that you would really end up watching it was the same way that the only way that you would end up watching The Price is Right, and that's if you were homesick from school. So you'd be homesick, you get The Price is Right in the morning, like 11:30, I think it came on, and then you get Judge Judy while you're waiting around for like your parents to come home or you're waiting for dinner or something.
But Judge Judy was on all the time.
Was she?
At the same time. Reruns.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
if you kept up with it, new releases.
Don't text. I'm sitting down watching the new Judge Judy.
Wake up, babe. The new Judge Judy is on. There's probably, that's a show where I would not be surprised you click it. There's like 35 seasons with like 25 episodes in each.
Oh,
probably
yeah.
There's probably 700
God, yeah.
episodes.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go watch a best of Judge Judy after this.
So here's the tale of the tape. 25 seasons from 1996 to 2021.
She just ended. Huh.
Guess how many episodes, Ethan?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know when a season would run. And if you're saying it was every day, like, oh my gosh, I bet you a season has 55 episodes.
Okay, so like 55 times 25, it would be, so 1,375.
That sounds like a lot, but yeah, I'm going to go with that. I hope it's way more.
6,280 episodes.
Did she do one every, was it a Monday through, it was her job. I guess it was a Monday through Friday job.
Unbelievable. So if we divide that by 365, that's 17 years.
Divided by 25, because that's how many years it ran.
That's true, yeah. 6,280 divided by 25. 251 episodes a season.
Oh my gosh, how many weekends are in their season? Did she literally, is it like I mean, it is her job. I guess they just brought cameras and she was literally just, that's the thing. They literally just videoed her doing her job.
It's like she would have been doing it anyways.
Yeah. She got paid to do her job and for the show.
That is crazy.
6,000 episodes.
Dude, I don't think I've done anything 6,000 times. You know what's even crazier? I just looked up. Guess what Judge Judy's net worth is estimated to be?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is impossible for me to gauge. I have no idea.
480 million. She's halfway to $1 billion.
I was definitely going to go with like 4 to 10. That is insane.
Dude, that's nuts.
My gosh.
I can't believe that. And you know the crazy thing? So Judge Judy ended in 2021, but she's still going on a show called Judy Justice, which if you add
she rebranded
the 3 seasons that's been on and add another 360 episodes.
How old is she?
She's 82.
42. Yeah. Oh my God.
So she's gotta milk the last good years of life on the bench, I suppose.
There are some jobs and some things that pop up that you're just like, dang, like what right place, right time. Like can't believe that like they figured it out. And Judge Judy is one of those. Like she became, a judge and they were just like, let's just video you. And all of a sudden she has like this crazy career. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. I'm gonna do some. I'm definitely watching a best of later.
Oh yeah. I think so. We might have to make a post about it. To be honest,
I mean, we're basically doing an episode about it.
Yeah, we're 22 minutes in, and it's just about Judge Judy and Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah. If you're still listening, thank you. Please stay with us for the whole episode.
Yeah. Right, no, that is the episode. I'm done, man. That's it. All right. Yeah. Let's
quick one today.
Yeah. We'll make some progress here. Let's move up to 1957. On this day, in that aforementioned year, Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock goes to #1 on the U.S. charts. So we can check off the bingo card. We've got some charts mentioned here.
And Elvis.
And then we've also got an Elvis mention.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. 1977, this day, October 21st, Meatloaf releases the landmark album Bat Out of Hell, written by Jim Steinman and produced by Todd, Rundgren?
Yeah, Todd Rundgren.
It's one of the most popular albums of the 70s, eventually selling over 14 million copies in America. It's a Bat Out of Hell. We lost him just a couple of years ago. The Meatloaf.
I think we talked about it when he died.
We did. Couldn't believe it.
We broke the news, perhaps.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary to that album. I guess it was Meatloaf's first. I looked that up earlier.
Meatloaf is big. Big talent and big.
Do you like the dish Meatloaf?
That's a good question. Yeah. Now this is more podcast content right here.
Absolutely.
So Meatloaf, where do I stand on Meatloaf? Yeah. Growing up as a kid, thought it was, foul. Didn't get it. I don't really get stuff that you just like. The main thing to do is put ketchup on it.
Sure.
It's not my favorite thing. Mm-hmm. But as you get older, there's some good meatloaf recipes up there. And I'm a hearty guy. So a good meatloaf, let's do it. Let's build a loaf of meat, throw it in the oven. I'm in. I like it. Yeah. Now that we bring this up, I want to make a good meatloaf. That's awesome.
The thing. And when you're a kid, you don't appreciate it, but man,
you don't understand.
I can just thinking about it, I can taste my grandmother's meatloaf right now, and just like the way that she would make it. I'll tell you, as I get older, a couple of things in culinary, their stock is rising. Meatloaf for sure. Any sort of crock potted meal, and any sort of stew. I just didn't have the appreciate a good shepherd's pie, man.
Soup. That's why we have the Patreon supporter. Fuck soup. Now you're coming around.
No, not soup. Stew.
I know, but Well,
it's much heartier.
It is much heartier. Yes,
it's more viscous. So there's
sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I just the older I get, the more I appreciate
the hearty things. Those hearty dishes, those home cooked hearty dishes. Just so good. I actually hate that
like a chicken pot pie or something like that. Oh man,
chicken pot pie. There's basically pies that have meat in it, or the meatloaf and stuff.
Meat pies, dude. My grandmother used to make a Hamburg pie growing up, and it's not the most elaborate thing in the world, but man, it was so good. Once you throw a little ketchup on it, Oh man.
I fear
Yes.
for the world because I feel like handing down recipes and people just being, being, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, say content. They're just people that are used to like making home cooked meals.
Yeah.
Just going out the door. There's too many. Like, I drive home. It's so hard not to just be like, oh, I'll just pick something up and I won't. Mainly probably because I'm buying for one. But
Right.
the recipes, I think the recipe, there is no cookbooks. People don't have cookbooks. They can make 4 recipes maybe. Like my mom,
Yeah.
my grandma, like, the rest, they got plenty of stuff
They
to
had
pull from.
recipes and
A Rolodex.
and note cards and a roll. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, like, think of like, somebody like the patriarch or the matriarch of the family, when they pass away, like you lose all their stories, all of their experiences, and like all of the recipes that were passed down. But even still, like sometimes, I mean, you have the recipe card or you have the instructions. You try to make it like, like Nana did or like Pop did or whatever. And like never comes out the same. There's just something about like the way that person did it and like their hands. It's
And that's how a
fascinating
lot
to
of,
me.
yeah, I was listening to something and I've had this thought before, as my dad would say. I heard it and I've thought the same thing. Obviously, like, yeah, if you give someone a recipe and they follow all the instructions, it's not going to be the same as the original.
Yeah.
And that goes for like a lot of things. Like if you
Think
do
of
everything
playing an instrument.
right,
Same
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy to
Yeah,
think about.
but Meatloaf, big winner today, big winner.
Yeah, Meatloaf
And
is
Judge
tonight's
Judy.
big winner. Yeah, and her $480 million. Absolutely a media baron, if you will, a baron of the courts, a tycoon of litigation, Judith Scheindlin. Anyways, let's shift gears into 2 of the saddest things we could possibly talk about today. Today, October 21st, marks the anniversary of Shannon Hoon's death in 1995. He passed away of a drug overdose on this day at age 28 in 1995. And additionally, on October 21st, 2003, Elliott Smith passed away at age 34. So 2 legends of their time gone way, 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 way too soon. And yeah, you can't say enough about these guys and their music. I don't know if we've done an episode on either Blind Melon or Elliott Smith, but I think it would make sense to at some point.
We've done
Blind
Shannon.
Melon, I feel like.
Yeah, Blind Melon and Shannon Hoon we've definitely done.
Yeah.
So I remember watching the documentary by
Right, Danny Clinch,
Danny.
the Clinch daddy.
But Elliot, no, that's been requested, but we've been saving that.
Yeah, yes, we've been saving it.
Yeah, that is sad. I mean, every time I see the age of these people, I'm obviously older than Shannon Hood was. Hoon, and you are the same age, and then Elliot is just a few years older than what I am today, and you are. So
yeah,
somber, obviously.
Yeah, it's jarring to think about, and I always talk about that. Somebody left a comment once, and they're like, I'm twice the age that Kurt was when he died, and even still, like, he'll always feel like he's older than me, even though he died at 27. Like, I feel the same way now that I'm getting to be older than, some of these guys were when they died, or, even, to a lesser extent, than a lot of these guys were when they were releasing my favorite music from them. It's weird to think about. But yeah, 2 legends. I'm sure I'll be posting about them on the page today. Ethan, I have something this day in music adjacent that I'd like to share. That I think you're going to get a kick out of, and I totally agree with it. So I saw a tweet a couple days ago, I think on the 14th, and apparently Martin Scorsese is producing a new Beatles documentary called Beatles 64, and it'll be coming out to Disney Plus on November 29th. And somebody quote tweeted this and said, "Look, I'm a fan, but at a certain point, we just have to accept that people already know about the Beatles. There has to be some other thing."
I love it. That is so good. Talk about beating a dead horse. Oh my gosh.
They've just got to give it up. Like I really truly think we know everything that we need to know about the Beatles.
No one's coming back from the dead to give us new information.
Right. There's nothing new to be learned.
Yeah, that is such a good. How many documentaries do you think? How many movies? Oh my gosh, there's so much information out there.
It's probably equally as shocking as it was to find out that Judge Judy has done 6,280 episodes and is worth $480 million.
Have you watched any documentaries on the Beatles?
No, I really wanted to watch that Get
funny.
Back one I think was on Apple or HBO or whatever, but I didn't have the streaming service and I didn't feel like paying.
Obviously.
But so
that's a great quote. Great
yeah,
quote.
yeah. I'll put it this way. There is a Wikipedia page called Documentary Films About the Beatles. So there's enough of them that there's a Wikipedia page. There's 29 listed on the page, but I'm sure that's not exhaustive.
No, for sure. I mean, there's probably other adjacent stuff, and there's museums. Obviously, the one that shut down.
Yeah,
or it moved.
The Lennon Museum.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's this day in music history, and the best thing about this is we did this day in music and we yapped a little bit. Now we get to yap some more because we're going to be answering some questions from the Grunge Bible faithful. So Ethan, I'm going to poke around in the broadcast channel questions if you want to poke around in the story ones, and we can just popcorn around and see. But I think we should start first and foremost because at the end of the day, I mean, even really before we were music guys, we were sports guys, and we still are. We've got a request for our World Series prediction. So as it stands right now, the Yankees are up 2-0 against Cleveland in the ALCS, and the Mets and Dodgers are tied 1 apiece. I think Game 3 is tonight. But my prediction, I think it's going to be Mets and Yankees. I'd like it to be Mets and Guardians just because I don't care for the Dodgers and I don't care for the Yankees. But I don't think Cleveland's going to come back from a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Mets are hot, right? I mean, Philly, they knocked out the Phillies. They have
Grimace on their side too. Like,
yeah, screw Grimace. Yeah, the Fanatic was not enough. Like, they came in, this is where baseball is broken because they played, the play-in. They got hot at the right time. They played while the Phillies sat, and it happened. The Phillies did the same thing to the Braves, 2 years ago or last year. I mean, they're hot, and they got crushed the first game, and they came back and then put 6 on them in the first inning or whatever.
They hit them quick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the entities greater than us are probably rooting for Judge Shohei in the World Series.
Yeah,
but New York,
that's Rob
battle.
Manfred's wet dream.
Yeah, Battle of the Bronx. Like, I mean, New York is popping right now. I love to see it. I mean, as a Philly guy, I guess it's kind of tough to root for New York stuff, but like I have love for the city. In a way, like I like seeing our Knickerbockers. Like I Knickerbockers. See the Knickerbockers. You got like just knowing that because like it's the same thing as Boston. These are foot traveled cities, right? When it's buzzing, and people are walking around and you can feel it. And I like to know that sports are making
people are talking about it,
making an impact in the city. And if it was Mets, Yankees, that would be pretty fun. And I would root for them. I don't know. I mean. Phillies hate the Mets, obviously, but
so I don't know.
It's tough to root for the Yankees. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
You just watch it as a fan, then
I just get to watch it,
which is a blessing. Sometimes it's fun to do that. And those two teams met in the Subway Series, I think, in 2000. The one thing though that I think really plays to the Mets' favor, and honestly, I think it would be Cleveland's best chance of getting back into this thing. Baseball for their 7-game series, they do 2-3-2. Instead of 2-2-1-1-1. So
and this one just switched to 7, right?
Yeah.
This series?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Mets got a split out in Los Angeles, and they get 3 games at home in Queens, which is huge. And then even still with Cleveland, they go down 0-2 in the Bronx, but they're going back to Progressive Field there, which is a pretty lively venue. So you get 3 games. I mean, a lot can happen there. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, by the time this comes out, I think both series could be done the way the math works out, but who's to say? Because baseball, they usually play like, yeah, I think so.
I guess it could be. They could be.
Yeah. I don't think they will be, but like if the Yankees could sweep before this episode comes out, and I mean the Mets could win the next 3. I think that would happen before Monday, but we'll see. I just want it to keep going, man. I like baseball.
I've been all in. I mean, I'm a postseason guy for sure. Red October. It's been pretty fun, and I'm excited to watch the game tonight. So next question. This is a good one. I like this. I like thinking about this idea, and it's what is one song that if you could hear for the first time again, you would choose? What song would you choose?
The want question.
Yeah. This is you only get to pick one. So yeah, let's not throw out we can throw out a few, but you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Well, I can go a couple of different ways. Ethan, do you want me to give the grunge answer or just the?
I think they want the grunge answer.
Yeah, I think they do want the grunge answer. I'm gonna go with Dissident by Pearl Jam, because that was one. I remember the first time I heard it, you couldn't convince me that it wasn't the coolest song in the world, and I just remember hearing it.
You love that guitar riff.
Immediately having that making that decision about that song, and it would be cool to hear that again for the first time and get excited about it because it is a kick-ass song. So I think I would pick Dissident. What would you pick?
I think that I'm gonna go with Nutshell.
Yeah,
I think that, like, because you think about Fatigue. I mean, I'm not fatigued with that one as much as Smells Like Teen Spirit or Black Hole Sun, and it's really not that bad. But I'm thinking about the first time that we listened to it and the conversations we had about it, and like, I mean, I'm not saying that's why the page started because there's a ton of reasons, but that was one of the original, like, let's see what people are talking about on YouTube, the comments. Like, that's kind of what got us into the weeds of grunge, was stuff like Nutshell, Release. What's another one that was really big in the beginning? They all were, really, because we were kind of, we were really getting into it all at the same time. So yeah, I think Nutshell would be really solid.
I think River of Deceit is another one. That
River of Deceit, that's a great one.
Yeah,
that was an early one. The first time you heard that, my boss Andy be like, "Oh, this song rocks," and then kind of going through the history and be like, "Yeah, this is."
I remember that summer, and Andy
Cornell
told you, and you told me that he's like, we should have a moment of silence every day for grunge.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good pull right there.
Oh yeah, mythical pull right there. Yeah, those are some good candidates. Yeah, it would be interesting to even just inhabit the space where I wasn't aware that Nutshell existed, and to just learn it one day.
River Seat and Hunger Strike. That's what I was talking about too.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But
next question here. Why are there no other things the other 4 days? Like Monday you have the Flood, Tuesday's the Ben Affleck, and Wednesday is the Captain. It's Wednesday. I don't know. Honestly, like, the goal is to have something for every day, because then, like, you don't have to think of stuff to post and you just post the scheduled stuff. So that's like the long con with that, and people are eating right out of our hands for that. So. I don't know. We might work on that, but I don't know. We're closer to the end.
Do you want to have 7 days, a 7-day thing?
It might be nice, just at least that way there's always something to post, and
to
like I don't have to think. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like it's been a while. Well, actually, there's been a new addition to that. Like Friday afternoons, I usually post the guys from the Prohibition era with the signs "We want beer." I usually post that every Friday, but. Yeah, there's nothing for Thursday, nothing for Saturday or Sunday. So
yeah, it just the problem is it loses the luster.
The more you do it, yeah.
I was gonna say, now there's 4. Or the 5, and if we had 7, or all of a sudden just too many. It's just this is too much.
The page will cease to be before we do 7 for 7.
Yeah, exactly. It's just. Yeah, you just can't. Some things you just can't take to the end like that.
Yeah, can't take it to the limit, in the words of the Eagles.
Yeah, well, maybe take it to the streets, but not to the limit.
Michael McDonald.
Any upcoming concerts that you have on docket?
Do I have any?
This is
upcoming
always
shows?
a good question. Always a good question. We've seen a lot of shows recently.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I do.
You're holding off on Delicate Steve in Toronto.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. So actually, no, I do have one on. Well, I'll have gone before the episode comes out. But there's this band from Canada called Big Wreck. They were big in the 90s. Yeah, you know them. I'm seeing them on Saturday on the 19th. So
nice.
Yeah, I forgot about it, and then
people love them,
and then forgot it. A lot of people like Big Wreck. They're cool. They still sound really great. Ian Thornley's the lead singer, and he's a really great guitarist and a really good singer. So it'll be cool to see them. Do you have anything lined up?
Just the other day, got some tickets to a Goose Halim relief show. They're playing, and it's the 29th, so it's like 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, just about less than.
Wait, what day is it? Hopefully I don't
It's
have
like 12 days away if it's the 29th from us
No,
right
it's
now.
not, because if it was the 29th, I would be away.
I think it's the 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a week and a half.
Is it Sunday? 26. It's the 26th.
Even better.
Yeah. Okay, I got really scared there because I just bought a plane ticket, and I was like,
Yep.
29th? I was like, I'm flying out. Well,
That's how it
31st,
goes.
but I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I got some Goose tickets. I'm really excited. It's for a good cause. I'm doing my part, I guess, in this sense. I'm really excited. I think Andrew and George got some tickets, so we're gonna have a good old thing, hang out, and they're actually across the street. So I guess Goose is going on at 6:30, but they're gonna be playing all night. But across the street at the Saturn, this band called Eggy is playing, and Andrew was talking about doing a double header. I don't even know if that's possible, but I'm intrigued by a band called Eggy.
Yeah, I would be too, dude. That might be worth investigating.
But that's all I have on docket. Honestly, that's all I can handle.
Yeah, that's really, the thing.
Like, if it wasn't Goose, I wouldn't be going to a show.
Yeah, we're like, at our wits' end here.
Yeah.
In the spirit of that question, we have a question from our man D-Boat, the Patreon supporter, all around good guy. Favorite concert of 2024 that you've been to, and also your most anticipated show of 2025.
My favorite show, it's tough. Recency bias. I'm trying to think of what I saw during the spring but I don't think there's anything better than the Goose show that I saw with you and Minch and Grateful Larry. I don't know how you would beat that. It would have to be something ridiculous that I'm forgetting and doesn't sound likely.
Yeah, so I didn't see many. I didn't see too many shows this year, but that one's for sure up there. Pearl Jam is, and then the Menzingers and Wonder Years co-headlining show that I saw after I got back from Arizona that night was pretty awesome. I crowd surfed for the first time in my life, and it was cool. Maybe that's how I hurt my back. that could have started it.
Yeah, it sounds like my brother Elijah went horseback riding and he screwed up his back because the horse was bouncing him around.
That was like I had a buddy who, Ethan, you know, but I'm not going to mention his name on the podcast. But we were at a party one time in college, and he did the splits to impress some girls. And then like a week and a half later, like he had like a herniated disc in his back, and he's like, I don't know how this possibly could have happened. And it's like, maybe because you did the splits.
That's great. That's exactly how it was Monday. Like, why am I so tired? As my old roommate would say, I do everything right. It's like, maybe because you didn't sleep at all this weekend, and when you did, it was on the ground with no pillows, no nothing. Yeah. And then you drove 6 hours home.
Yeah. It's like you slept on the ground for a week. What do you expect?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That might be why your back hurts too.
That could be. And honestly, it seems so much clearer now.
It's in the rearview mirror.
Oh, Jesus. Let's see.
There's a lot of reasons.
Most anticipated show of 2025. I don't have any tickets yet. It's far too early. I don't know if I'm going to go up, and I'll probably end up seeing Jerry Cantrell. He's playing in Portland and in Boston in February for I Want Blood. I'll probably go to one of those. I can't say that it'll be my most anticipated. So I'll just take the coward's way out and say, the inevitable next Wonder Years show that I go and see will be the most anticipated, because those shows are always so much fun.
Yeah, there's very clear. There's only one band that I want to see that I'm anticipating more than anything, and it's Delicate Steve.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. He only tours, like, from what I know, in the last couple of years. Like, he just tours during the fall.
We need to go.
But like, if I don't know if he has anything in 25 yet. I haven't seen anything. But
no, I don't
if there is a show, I will be anticipating that very heavily. Yeah. And that's like that's right now. That's the only band that I really want to spend money on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, because big bands are too. Last night, my roommate went to Post Malone. He said his voice was incredible in person. He was in town.
Oh,
he was
cool.
here. So I could have potentially went to that, but.
That's expensive, though.
I don't even know what tickets were. Yeah, that's the big bands that obviously I want to see are going to cost more money, and the smaller bands. I mean, hopefully, I really want to go to some local stuff. Some people that,
Yeah.
Really,
I feel like a huge
younger
hypocrite
bands.
sometimes because I'm always like, oh, like make sure you go to shows, but there's great music. I mean, even I'm sure Birmingham's got some good stuff, and
Yeah.
Providence, Worcester, Boston, they've all got incredible, local scenes, I would say. And I should start going to those, man. That's a good point.
Oh yeah, it's. I was reading about the scene in Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah.
And there's just random cities, and like there's bands that play locally, play regionally, and they're trying to make it, but they have some energy that you're not going to get when you go to MetLife, and then see a show. I mean, it's different energy. So I'm like, if you want to capture that energy, you got to go and find it.
Yeah.
Go to some festivals.
I would agree, man.
That we need to do.
Yeah, we have to go to the one in Marfa.
Which fictional holiday should we celebrate, Chris?
It's got to be Festivus.
It's the easiest answer is Festivus.
Yeah, I think this
Festivus
is one of those where I think there is a correct answer, and it's Festivus.
Yeah.
It's also the only fictional holiday that I'm thinking of. I think Leif Erikson Day could be a contender as well, from SpongeBob.
I feel like there was one in How I Met Your Mother that was. I can't remember, but I feel like there's definitely a few sitcoms.
There's a lot of
that have
fictional
made up.
holidays, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Christmaka. We got to celebrate Christmaka.
Christmaka. Yeah, there we
From
go.
the OC.
Yeah, there we go.
Throwing back to earlier this year when we were obsessed with the show.
I miss the OC days.
I know. Honestly, man, last winter, like that got me through like the back half of winter. Now that it's starting to get cold again, I think I'm starting to Jones for the OC a little bit. I'm Jonesing.
You gonna rewatch?
I might do it. Just a comfort show, you get home from the gym and throw it on.
Huge comfort.
Oh yeah. I've got a question here. Probably pretty quick. What grunge person do you think is probably the stinkiest? And I do think there's a correct answer for this. It's got to be Chris Novoselic, in my opinion.
I was going to say Ben Shepherd.
Could be. I think the bassists have cornered the market on this.
Yeah, I would say both bassists. So what does that tell you?
Right.
Sorry, bassists.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Chris for sure. He looks like,
run around in his bare feet all over the stage. Yeah, exactly. Ethan, I have a good one that's probably right up your alley, and it's kind of off the beaten path a little bit, which we like because we really can't answer again, like what got you into grunge. Why did you start the page? Like, who's your favorite out of the big four? Rank the big four. Is Lane Staley better than Chris Cornell? We want to answer questions like this. What is your go-to coffee order, and what is the most wild but best coffee order you've had?
Ooh, great question.
This is one that you're going to percolate about. So, like, if you have a go-to, or like, I would probably
I'll tell
say
you the
like
best order. Okay, you go first.
I would probably say like I think to answer this one, like if you're like your go-to, like going to like a place that does coffee, not like a Dunkin' or anything, right?
Yes, this is coffee shop in San Francisco or something. Coffee shop in Austin or Yeah.
I've been getting into the Americano game a little bit more than just like going with the house. Like I'll just do like an Americano or like a double if I'm really feeling it. And it's good. You get the versatility. You go iced or you go hot as well. So I've been getting into that a little bit more. So
solid.
I don't really know.
Americanos are solid.
Yeah, man. I don't really know if I have an answer for the like most wild but best coffee order, just because like I'm not knowledgeable, so like that handicaps my memory with this stuff. So I don't really know. But what about you? I feel like you've got some good answers for this.
Oh yeah, I got the correct answer.
He's got the goods.
I have the real answer to this. An Americano. That's close, Chris. That is close. So I worked in coffee in Lexington, and I worked in here, and just got really into it, like you would like a wine or a bourbon. And if you're going to a coffee shop that is good, that means the beans are good and roasted well and sourced well. And so you really want to see what the beans got. You know what I mean? So getting stuff with milk like cappuccino and whatnot. I mean, you're doctoring it up a little bit, doctor my eyes, but it still is good. So the pro move, the Anthony Bourdain move, you go in and you get a shot of espresso of whatever, like ideally you get like a shot of espresso of their Guatemala, and then you get a black coffee of it. So then you get to drink the espresso, and if it's done really well, espresso is like really, really delicious and flavorful. A lot of people think that's just black, but then you can kind of chase it with a different method of the same coffee. So ideally there's like a single origin coffee on, and that's just, blend. There's a lot of blends where you put like a Guatemala and Brazil together because it evens it out. But if you get a nice single origin, it's a little trickier, but there's a lot more flavor. So you get a shot of espresso, a seltzer water, and then a black coffee. And you go drink the espresso first, and then you have a cup of coffee to enjoy. And it's kind of nice when they're the same bean but prepared differently, because then you can get a lot of differences. So that's my and most of the time, they're the cheapest. Espresso is going to be $3, and the cup of coffee would be like $2.80. So you're spending $5.50 on 2 drinks. You get a lot. Where you could, if you just got a nice mocha, you're not going to taste much of the beans. It'll be good, but it's gonna be $6.50, and then you add almond milk, and you're screwed. You're paying $30, and then they turn around the tip. Yeah. So I think I've moved, and drip coffee, like people get pour overs, which just take a little bit more time, but like they've also gotten really good at making drip coffee these days, like the machines. So yeah, drip coffee and espresso, it's really all you need. You get a really good description of the coffee shop to see if they're worth anything.
Yeah.
And as far as crazy stuff that I would order, I do. The only reason I wouldn't get that, obviously if it's hot and you want something iced, I like seeing what they come up with. So when they have seasonal options, like I always check them out. When they have like the matcha, I mean, matcha's kind of funky. It's a tea, so it's a little different. But like, you get those like, a really good order is espresso tonic, which is basically Americano, but instead of water, they use tonic water over ice. Squeeze a little lime into it. It's delicious. That's the best cold drink you can get. Espresso tonics, absolute gas.
The law has been laid down.
Yeah, those are the
agree.
three
Like
orders.
and like you certainly have the knowledge level relative to me, but like if you're gonna like vet a place and see what they're about, I totally agree with that strategy at the beginning.
Yep, espresso and black coffee, and then,
and like their process, and like it's got nowhere to hide.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty great that way.
That's a great question. I could definitely talk about coffee like crazy.
A lot more than we want to talk about Alice in Chains.
It's very true.
It's hard to say.
Very true.
One more, and then I'll toss it back to you, but we'll kind of stay in like the food and drink here. What is the best dipping sauce for chicken?
So are we talking chicken nugs, or are we talking rotisserie?
I don't know. It's got to be.
Chick-fil-A.
I'm assuming like a tender or a nugget or something, because I feel like if it was wings, they would specify, and I don't think somebody would be asking us like, hey, like if you roasted a chicken, what are you dipping it in? So I think they mean like a nugget or
plain. It's like a naked wing.
Yeah, I would say like a little.
Because if you have
on it.
obviously if you have a buffalo wing, you're gonna dip it into something lighter.
Right.
I think, I think one of my favorite chicken restaurants is Cane's, and they got cane sauce. Cane sauce is a little bit of spicy, mayo and mustard maybe, or something. It's like almost like it's not Thousand Island, but it's yellow or it's orange, but it's got that spice to it. I really like mayonnaise and hot sauce when you mix them together. Great for hot sauce, great for chicken.
Yeah, I love a really well done honey mustard. I grew up with that as my favorite to dip chicken in it, and I don't know that I've ever really
honey mustard.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever really wanted to stray. Like it just feels like home to me if it's done well. But also related question: you're team blue cheese, right? You're not a ranch guy.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think big ranch is childish.
Yeah, ranch. It just it's so easy to make in a bad way, where obviously good ranch, there's some restaurants that make their own ranch and it's pretty delicious, but no, I'm a blue cheese guy.
Yeah. Ranch on pizza though, when you're drunk, is pretty damn good. You remember back in the day in Oakland and Pittsburgh, you take $6, you get a $5 bill, you go to Antoon's and you get the pie, then you take the $1 bill and you go over to Sorrento's next door and you get the ranch.
Yeah. Oh, for shitty pizza, it's so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is one of my ranch versus blue cheese debate. One of my favorite, ending arguments. Or we had this conversation back. having beers over a wing night, and we were doing it. And the one guy was like, he's like, "Would you eat buffalo chicken pizza?" He's like, "Have you ever had this one place?" And like, "Oh, that's my favorite buffalo chicken pizza. Like, I love that." But he was a ranch guy. He said, "Yeah, you know what they make it with? Because like, you know, the buff chick has like ranch, or in this case, it was blue cheese." And the guy was raving about the pizza, and he thought it was ranch, but it was actually blue cheese.
Interesting.
Like, case closed.
He was bamboozled.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty great there.
that's a good one. That's got me really. You know, sauce is so important.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's unhealthy, but like it can make things that shouldn't be taste good. Like salsa is healthy.
I'm telling you, man, like if you're doing because I do it, I'm sure you do it from time to time. Like, you know, the beginning of the week, you just like meal prep and like bake a bunch of chicken or something. Like you need to have some sauces on deck, and you need to, I've been, instead of doing sauces lately, I've been doing mustard. So like, I'll just get like some interesting mustards.
Dude, mustard is hard. You know what I mean? Like
and it's not as you don't need a bunch of it, so it lasts for a while, and it doesn't have the like, you know, you don't pay the caloric tax that you would with like a really sweet sauce with a bunch of sugar in it, or you know, otherwise any carbs in it. I mean, it's pretty clean. It's just got a bunch of sodium in it, obviously, but mustard is sometimes it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
You know, honey mustard, and you brought it up earlier. That's one of those sauces that I rarely get behind, honey mustard.
Yeah. Just because there's always better options.
Yeah, a little bit. So, I mean, I'm just not a huge like sweet sauce guy. Like when it's sweet, sometimes it throws me off. And Elijah loves it, my little brother, and yeah, maybe I like some of the other, like I like hot sauce a lot. So I'm always hot sauce and mayonnaise, different hot sauces. Like that's always, I kind of go towards the spice a lot. So, but that's why I also like mustard, because it has the tang.
Yeah,
but then the
any
honey
sort of like
side is
Chipotle
crazy.
mayo or something like that is always right in the wheelhouse.
We're all whores for that.
Yeah.
Who
Do
doesn't
your
love a good
worst.
Chipotle? Yeah, like that's basically what I was trying to say when I talked about Cane's.
Yeah, we're gonna have to beat around the bush for that.
Okay, so this person said that you put a Gojira song over your post about the Sick New World tour that was just dropped. Are you guys fans of Gojira? Great question. Did we talk about this a few episodes ago?
I think it was a song of the week for you.
Did we just talk about this? Yeah.
I can't remember if the conversation occurred on the podcast or not.
Did one of the produced podcasts, or just one of our daily podcasts that we just talked to each other?
But I think it was one of your songs of the week after the Olympics, because they played at the opening ceremony. Yep. So I would answer that. Like, I don't know that I'm a fan of Gojira because I don't really listen to them. I just use the song on the meme just like get cred from people like who's ever asking the question. But Ethan, I know you're a fan. Yeah,
I mean, I'm a recent fan. Like I said, I got into it after a few different people told us to go listen to him, and the Olympics, seeing their performance and whatnot, I was like, you know what? I was like, gonna give him a shot. And I was really pleasantly surprised. They kind of blew me away. They're very technical, very heavy, but not in like an I Want Blood type of way. But like
there's some nuance to it.
Yeah, there was a more dream theater type stuff. But
okay, yeah, I like.
But not so like conceited. I don't know. Do you listen to much dream theater?
I definitely do not. Apparently making a reference to a band.
Yeah, they're like Tool, but heavier. Like they're almost just as sophisticated. If you want to listen to Dream Theater, sophistication needs to be really high.
So like, is this my way to like out jerk the Tool fans that think they have musical supremacy? I was like, like Tool's all right, but have you heard Dream Theater?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, oh man, like I got to check them out.
Yeah, and they're like, how hard can we make songs? I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. But the comment for the I Want Blood music video was like, wow, woke up and we got a new JC song and Dream Theater. Like, this is crazy. So apparently
I never wanted anything more than that. New Dream Theater's out. I'll send it to you. Thanks. I'm definitely going to listen. I've got a really good question here for you, Ethan.
Really good one, huh?
Really good one. Do you think Kurt Cobain would fuck with shawarma?
Like chicken shawarma?
Yeah, I believe so. 100%. I think so.
Yeah. 100%. He definitely would have tried the weird foods. I don't see him being a picky eater.
No, shawarma's gas too, dude.
Yeah, not that that's being picky, but
Right.
you know, some people it's Indian flavor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd like it for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. 100%. Let's see.
A lot of food going around, Chris.
There's a lot of
I have
food.
a question for you.
Yeah.
What are you having for dinner?
What am I having for dinner? I baked some chicken on Monday.
And do you have a schedule?
What's that?
Do you have a schedule? Like, is Wednesday is this?
No, not really. I usually try to eat most of my dinners at home during the week. Just because I know on the weekend I usually like I'm with friends and whatnot, or even if I'm not, I'll get something to break the cycle a little bit. But no, usually dinner for me during the week is some sort of meat. It's usually chicken, like chicken breast or chicken thighs. Honestly, whatever's on sale. And I'll just like season it up and bake it. Sometimes I'll put in the pan and cook it that way. But yeah, today just got some chicken, like very basically seasoned at home, but I'll definitely put some mustard on it, make some rice and just like a whole bunch of spinach because I'm traveling soon. I got like half a bag of spinach I need to eat, so I'm just gonna fire it down the hatch. But I'll do that. I'll have some fruit, and then I'll probably have a little bit of yogurt after that and call it good there. So did you eat dinner already or have?
That was a late lunch. That was some leftover.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah, that was some leftover. I'm scrounging around. I thawed out some ground beef.
The hunt is tough, dude.
Opened a can of beans and made some bagged rice and mixed it all together with a jalapeno. Mm-hmm. But I threw some salsa over it and I threw it in a tortilla and it was great. No problem.
That's the other thing. I feel like you would agree with me on this. Like, I think the majority of the time, just like mixing everything together in a bowl is better than having separate pieces. Like if you're gonna do rice, if you make like ground beef and rice, just throw it all together. You can put whatever you want on it, get the veg in there, and that way, like if you're not a veg person, you don't even really feel like you're eating it. It's just in there. You just get a spoon and shovel it down.
Yeah, pro move when you're making like tacos, taco mix or taco meat. Right. You take spinach and you put spinach all over it, and then it wilts into it, and then you're eating spinach while you're eating your tacos. No big deal. And then you fit in the green. It's funny that you mentioned, and I feel like you eat chicken and rice. I feel like the stuff you're eating tonight is pretty big staple in the Salona house.
Yeah, it's I just keep it basic that way because like I'm not the most well-read person in the kitchen. I certainly like when I get home, I really don't want to, like if I don't have something meal prepped, like I'm reaching for the canned tuna in my pantry and I'm putting that in a bunch of rice and putting some avocado in it and eating that, but and putting some beans in there.
I did the same thing that you did last week. I bought a big container of spinach. Didn't eat as much as I thought I was going to eat the days leading up to travel. And then you're just shoving it down, but I had like a bunch. So I just blended up with some like water and ice. I put protein. I put a protein shake in, but like I've tested it. Like you make a shake, like you can put in as much spinach like as you want, and it blends up, and you almost can't taste it. I mean, you can if it's so much, but if you have like a protein powder, you can just absolutely load it up.
Yeah, and you got to get it down. I will say though, I think the most underutilized food in the home kitchen is beans. Meatloaf. I think beans, like you put beans in absolutely everything, and they're so good for you. I think people are missing out a lot. Yeah,
I feel like I ate a lot of black beans for a while, and I still do, like put in canned beans. But I've made less of them. But have you ever got the bag of beans and like soaked them in water like overnight and stuff?
Yeah.
Now that's like, I feel like I have a bag that I've been wanting to do like 2 months or something. I think that's the play. I agree. Yeah. Beans are, I just had horror stories when I was younger. Baked beans just, almost killed me as we talked with my dad about it.
Barely made it out.
Yeah. Sweet. I'm making some steak fajitas. Steak fajitas is like that's my like, you're back. Like that's my, get some cilantro. I usually make it's like Taco Tuesday, but I had to do it on a Wednesday because I didn't want to spend the money yesterday to buy a steak. So it moved to tonight. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to watch hopefully watch the baseball game and have some steak fajitas.
Yeah. I think
guacamole or something like that. Everything's going to be good. Life is going to be good.
That's perfect. Yeah. We need those little moments every now and then, that everything feels okay.
That's honestly one of the big reasons that I use Zen, that I do Zen.
Yeah.
Because I don't smoke, and like when things get crazy, like not crazy, but like when I want to feel like kind of level, come back, even if it makes me feel a little, makes my tummy ache, like throwing in a Zen, just there's a little bit of, that's why we like Clash of Clans, There's certain things that like you just get used to doing, and for some reason, it settles you down. Yeah. People talk about it, I guess, a lot.
Like in addition to, I don't often, because I work from home, so like I don't often Zen while I'm working, just because that's a slippery slope, and then I'd just be doing Zen all day, and like I really don't need to. But my like a version of that for me is like I'll just like go to my kitchen and just like grab like a handful of whatever fruit I have in there in the fridge and just like eat some of that. Like just like grab like a handful of blueberries or blackberries or something and just like throw them down the hatch. They taste good, and they're not bad for you. They're pretty good for you, and then you get back to what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. That's solid. What happens when you're on the road and you need to feel better?
I go to the Zen.
Yeah, that's when the Zen comes in.
Yeah, dude. Zens and like Diet Cokes or Diet Pepsis, man. Yeah,
I could go for a Coke right now.
Dude, I went for a soda yesterday. I'm just like always going to the store to buy fruit, and like I'll go to the grocery store and like my bill will be like $16, but it'll just be fruit and then like a Diet Pepsi. But it's what I need to be okay. And I think we all need what we need to be okay, because we all do need to be okay. Do we want to do any more questions?
No, I think it's run its course. I was going to say, dude, one more thing about grocery shopping, because you said whatever's on sale, and like groceries are so expensive right now.
Dude, they're so because I probably
someone I saw, there was a meme. It was Eminem writing a letter. Yeah. It was like, "Dear Black Friday, everybody's got big screen TVs. Put groceries on sale."
Yeah, man. I spend so much godforsaken money on groceries.
Like I'm in there and I'm like, I want to be healthy, and I was like, I'd really like I like cherry juice, like tart cherry juice.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite things, but it's expensive. It's like sometimes they're on sale, but usually it's like maybe $6, $5.50 for like 32 ounces. And I'm like, so I compare that to if I were to buy a beer at a restaurant or something.
Right.
Same thing. Like orange juice, dude.
Oh my God, orange juice. Is there
$30?
Yeah. I'm sure there's at least like one or maybe a couple of these things, but like, is there anything that you buy for the home that like you for your kitchen or for your pantry that like you will splurge on the better version of? Like a common one would be like, you buy the best eggs as opposed to like the regular ones, or you're only buying like this certain brand. Like, do you have something like that?
I do. Yeah. I mean, cherry juice, that's a good, there's Cherbundi. I really like that one. And maybe there's some others, but eggs, like I really do. There's the Vital Farm eggs.
Yeah.
Are like my favorite, but right now they're like $8.
They're like eight for a dozen, which is just too much money.
It's just, I haven't bought them in a while, but like, I really do think like a good egg and a good color, it really does make a big difference than like the 99-cent 12 pack. But I just bought a pack of those yesterday. Yeah. Because those, some good eggs, milk, I like having nice milk. Yeah. Like buying just like the Publix milk is kind of, there's just the homegrown, the nicer milk is much different, and usually, I don't know, it doesn't sour as bad, I guess.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I wish I could do the eggs more often, but like I eat like 4 eggs a day, like every morning, and like that would just be too much money to be spending on the good eggs, because like you said, it's like $7 or $8 for a dozen. So like I'll do like the regular kind and like the eggs at my grocery store, like they're not bad. I think it's like $4 or $5 for 18, and like the quality's not bad. Like the yolk isn't terrible, but still it's not the best. But I will splurge on like the good cottage cheese. I eat cottage cheese. I think it's called like Good Culture or something. It's in like a blue container. They might not have it down in Alabama. But I definitely like, I'll splurge on that. And then like there's
a yogurt brand that I like.
Yeah. Like different really things good, like that. And like, you go, at least like my grocery store, you go to the aisle where the fruit is, and like they have like the entry level fruit, and then they have like a brand that's like a step up. And then sometimes like it's rotating like what they have from them. It's like a little bit better. Like I'll try to get some of that just because like there's nothing that's more frustrating than you go and you buy the fruit and then, you expect it, to last you the week. And then like by day 2, it's moldy. It just completely defeats the purpose. And I would agree. I think good milk is really, really solid. Any sort of
it
produce.
Just depends how much you use it.
Right.
Like, yeah,
because I don't use milk a ton. So like I don't often splurge for it because like I'll get through, like I only buy a half gallon and like I don't use a ton of it. And like by the time it's like it starts to curdle, like there's still a little bit left. So like I don't need it.
That's funny because like for the eggs, you said the opposite. You do eat them a lot, therefore you don't splurge.
I know. Well, it would just, I would never financially recover from that.
Because I'm like, I'm definitely, I mean, I like stepping up. I like cooking and I like eating well. It's a big part of like comfort of being here when I get to cook and do that.
Yeah.
Like I find a lot of peace in it. So I like having better ingredients. It just makes you a better cook right off the bat.
Yeah.
Drew, our producer, he would love to be talking about this right now. He would tell you why nice eggs and all that stuff is really important. Right. And so, yeah, it is tough. It's like, okay, this will last a long time, so I'm going to buy the nicer one. Or, yeah, this is going to go fast, but it's a necessity.
It's the same thing with appliances and stuff. It's like if you need like a chef's knife, you buy the shitty one because it's cheap. You'll go through 4 of them. Yeah, you just should have just bit the bullet. And
it's really how everything
It's like
is.
iPhone chargers,
Yeah. It's literally, it's literally everything.
Yeah. It's
but
like
there are some things that are not like that, Well,
that's the thing.
Like rice. I mean, I bought nicer rice, but come on.
Right. Yeah. There's some things that are just very utilitarian, like a lot of like your carbs. I will say though, like if I'm buying bread, like I'll go to like the really, really good, like fresh baked sourdough as opposed to like the, whatever the mass produced stuff is that you can find.
Of course. Yeah. Bakery stuff is.
Yeah.
Bakery, farmer's market, your local, it really is a step up. It's just so damn expensive. Like my one wish, well, maybe 2 wishes. One would be, a beautiful kitchen with all the best utilities. But like if I could just have unlimited, if I didn't have to pay for groceries, I can kind of pick, it would just be such a burden off my back.
Yeah.
As most people would say, but.
Right. Yeah, I think it's tough, but there is one thing. I think all of those groceries that we talked about, they've gotten more expensive. But one thing that I can think of that hasn't gotten a single penny more expensive since 2021 is the Grunge Bible Patreon. It's been $2, $5, and $10 for over 3.5 years now. So if you're still with us by some act of God, I think you should. I think you should join. We're not going to threaten you right now, I don't think, but maybe just give us the win that we so desperately need.
This is a plea of like we're very grateful that you guys are still here, and like it would mean a lot to us because we've rambled. At this point, we've rambled, so it would be a lot. If
a whole lot of not grunge was going on today.
And if you do answer the call, we will 100% do an episode. And if you want us to do another one just like this, we'll do it. But if you want us to, no jokes at all, super straightforward, we'll try our best.
Yeah, we are contracts for hire. And I really appreciate
playoff Richards.
We'll do that too. If you want us to be somebody else, we'll do it. If you want me to impersonate Richard Nixon for an episode, I'll do that. I don't care. I do have to say, I do want to shout out all of our long-standing Patreon members that stick around even when we do shit, because like you know how it goes, Ethan. Like even if we do a bad job, they're locked in. They still have to give us that other $2 million. That's our rate.
Yeah, that's our rate. That's why I made the deal. It's funny when we start these episodes, I'm always like, this is what the people want to hear. They want to know the personalities. There it is.
It's just like, I don't know what they want.
But then it goes on for a while and I'm like, all right, I hope we didn't overdo it here and yap max too much.
That's all right. There's somebody out there who's still listening right now. And even if it's just one person, thank you. Like everybody's got stuff to do. Not everybody's going to be spending it with us, but if they are,
a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of traffic.
And you know what? Like we were talking about the things that bring you comfort, certain things. Like I said, podcast, same thing today. The Bill Simmons pod dropped and I was like, put it on, that voice comes on and like he could be talking about, I could not understand anything he's talking about, but I think he's interesting. He has good takes.
Right.
And so I think we're that for people. And so that's what we're building on. That's what we're building on.
And maybe somewhere out there, that's what this show is. Like, people are pumped that like we're lingering into an hour and 15 minutes now instead
They
of...
want the long form. They want longer. There's some people that want us to go for
content.
2.5.
Exactly, man. So maybe in the future, but I think they'll probably do it. Do you have a song of the week, Ethan?
I was just say we got one more thing to extend the podcast, and that is songs of the week. So,
man,
I got a good one. A pretty solid,
cool.
Musical moment this weekend.
Nice.
I said in the group. So we were at the bachelor party and we were listening to stuff, and I know. We were all really, say hungover, lack of sleep. So
sure.
I played the only song that you play in the morning, and that when you're super hungover, you need to get going, and that is "Good Morning" by Kanye West.
Okay, yeah.
And I had to have done it with you before.
Yes, we did that in Los Angeles,
of course. So, but then we got into a Kanye kind of talk and trip and talking about him, and I think that he's pretty incredible artist, and he's the way that he thinks and all this stuff. And so I've been going through and listening to his first album, The College Dropout, and I plan to go through kind of each album. I want to see the progression. And this first album is crazy. It was released in 2004, 20 years ago, and you can just hear like so much 90s hip hop and rap. Obviously, going into this was early, and it's got a lot of like just kind of voices and almost like, I don't know. It's very different, obviously, than what you get now, but it's really good. And the first song is "We Don't Care," and it's really, it's really solid. It's really interesting. It has like a theme to it all, so you can listen to it and make your own opinions. But I'm gonna put it on there. I want an OG Kanye song.
Nice.
Just because it was a good moment for this weekend,
Yeah, dude, that's pretty solid. I'm going to pick. From the primitive radio gods.
Hell yeah.
I'm picking "Standing Outside a Broken Phone Booth" with I don't even know how it ends again.
With money in my hand. I know you have to wait for it to scroll.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to scroll right now. Yeah, standing outside a broken phone booth with money in my hand. And yeah, the album artwork is pretty much how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Ethan, I know and I know you guys out there. And if you don't
even
know,
they also know.
Yeah, if you don't know the title, I'm sure you know the song. And
post it.
Yeah, that's just the way that it is. So yeah, that's my song of the week.
Thank you, Chris. It is getting dark
Ethan.
here. I know it's dark there.
Yeah, the sun is set.
We are coming up on the most difficult stretch of the year. When's daylight saving?
Usually like the first weekend in November.
Yeah.
So it's coming up soon.
It is coming for us. So
yep. November 3rd will be the day of reckoning. So that's in not this weekend, not next weekend, but the following weekend. So times are gone for honest men.
Man, I got a debt no honest man can pay. All right,
Nobody knows the trouble we've seen. That does it for another episode of the Grunge Bible Podcast. That was 187, all done and dusted, over and out. We will see you by the grace of God next week for 188. We'll probably get into the blood zone with Jerry Cantrell. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and we are looking forward to chatting with you at this time next week. So Ethan, thanks again. This was a lot of fun, and it made my shitty day just a little bit better.
Oh no, I wasn't recording, Chris. No, I'm joking.
I knew you were joking, you asshole.
All right, guys. We will talk to you next week. Thank you very much. Thank you, Drew McFadden, our lovely producer. You're the man. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Drew. Love you, Drew.
Hanser,
baby. See you guys later.